Hi everybody, how are you? Bear and I are going to say Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. Look at him, his little eyes. Oh, isn't he sweet? So I'm guessing it's 7:51 Eastern here, PM. And I'm guessing everybody is at parties or at families. Some people exchange on Christmas Eve and then with other family on Christmas Day. As for us, we're going to be staying home. Thank God. I didn't want to go anywhere. So I'm glad we're staying home. Gold Peak iced tea with Jordan skinny syrup, sugar-free peach flavor. So good. I'm sitting here working on a doggy, actually your boxer, Dina, trying to see if this pattern works up bigger than I want it to, but let me show you. This is the head. So it's not going to be very big, so I'm going to need to look for another pattern. And like, this is the tail. This is the front leg, or the back leg, I mean. The ears. The belly spot. It's going to be small. And I'm pretty sure you won't want one that small. So, I got to look for a different pattern. The ones I'm finding I don't like. So, I really need to look for a different one. So, after I do this video while it's uploading, that's exactly what I'll be doing, is pattern searching. Oh, let me show you. He's all Albert back there sleeping. At least he was. Yep, he's there. Can you see him curled up? Birdie bug. I don't know if you can see him or not. I can't tell. Maybe that way if I sit this way. So, did everybody get all their presents that they wanted? Or they wrapping and stuff? I remember when I was my first marriage, when I had my daughter, well, my stepdaughter, his daughter, I was always the last minute Christmas Eve shopper because I never thought I had enough for my kid. So I would go out and get even more. Christmas Eve, I go on a mad dash. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Years ago, we used to do stockings for these guys all too, but now we would have to have 13 or 14 stockings, and I say, forget it. The only reason I even decorated this year was just so I had some festivity in the house with being on camera. Because honestly, it's a pain. But it did give me the Christmas spirit this year, which I haven't had in a long time. So, I got every order done except for 2 snowman mug cozies and a sock monkey order I got. And it's so funny. I was looking for a color for this boxer body and head and stuff. And when I spotted this yarn, and I'm like, gee, that kind of looks like the sock monkey yarn. No way, I said, because it's showing it's not sold in stores. So what the sock monkey pattern calls for is taupe mist. So I pull this out of my stash and I look, and I'll be doggone. Do you see what that says? Not only do I have one, I have 2 of these bad boys. So I can actually start that sock monkey and surprise my newest customer, and I can ship her monkey already on Wednesday for her. So that is fabulous. I'll schedule the pickup tomorrow night, and they'll pick it up Wednesday, and then bam, all my orders are complete. Well, with the exception of the boxer I'm working on, because like I said, I gotta find another pattern, and that shouldn't be a problem. I just gotta dig a little deeper, I guess. So that's where I'm at, and then I don't know what will be after that. I might get more orders, or I might start. Hi everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. How is everyone? I'm guessing that if you're not at home, then you're at parties or visiting family or something. As for Win and I, this year, again, and I'm so glad, we're staying home. I hate leaving, especially on a holiday. It's just too much chaos. I know I'm a party pooper. So, I saw some people are getting white Christmases. I don't even know what the temperature's supposed to be here tomorrow. I don't really want a white Christmas. It doesn't even feel like Christmas. I mean, I got a little festive with my stuff that I decorated with here in the house, but I don't know. Christmas has been too commercialized for so long that, I don't know, it just took the joy out of it. So I would rather stay home here and work on orders and get some things accomplished. I'm going to insert the picture of the bear I finished last night. The polar bear for Darby I said I was going to work on. Well, I did, and I got it done. And that, and the pug, and everything else, and the set I showed you that I wrapped with my twine, all that left today with the mail lady. So, I zipped them orders right the heck out, so people had them. Look at Birdie back there all snuggly. So now, I remember I was telling you about the sock monkey, that I had to order the yarn because they don't carry it online according to the website. So I was looking for a color for the boxer that I'm making, and when I'm looking, I spotted this in my stash. And I'm like, boy, that looks an awful lot like that sock monkey yarn that they call for, which is Vanna's Choice Taupe Mist. It can't be, I thought. But it is. And not only do I have this one, I have two. So, I'm not sure how many it calls for. I didn't even print the pattern yet. Sorry. But I do have two, and I will be whipping that sock monkey out. This boxer and two mug cozies, all to be shipped. Well, not the boxer. Dina will talk about the boxer. It's going to be small, so I still need to find a pattern. That's why I said I wanted to test it. And this is the head. So, the finished thing would sit, I mean, it'd be a decent size. I got to see it when it's complete. Because sometimes you think you know, and you don't. There's the muzzle. It is going to be rather small. I mean, here's one of the legs. And then the ears. I'll make a strip of white to go in there. So yeah, it's going to be cute. And then the muzzle has that jowl piece like that goes up around. So I'm excited to finish it. This is the tail. So I have 3 legs, and I think it calls for a thigh. I did the belly, the ears. Okay, so I need to do thighs, the body, 2 arms, 1 leg, and then I can put it together. So another 2 hours once I start again, and I'll have it finished. The actual pattern I'm using is for a keychain. And I thought sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. When you change hook size, it determines the size of the whatever you're making. But in this case, it's not enough stitches to make it big enough. Because I would have liked, like, you know, like a decent sized dog at least. So, we'll see what we get going there. I did notice there's someone on, let's just say a site, I'm not going to say where, that is selling patterns that are not patterns, things made from a pattern designer that is an absolute strict no to creating and selling items from their patterns. And I was like flabbergasted because the entire site is this person's pattern line. And the only thing that gets me about that is they're violating terms of use, and there's no, I didn't know, because on every one of this person's pattern it clearly says, patterns, it clearly says not, you may not commercially sell items made from our patterns. On the pattern, on the website, everywhere you go to order them. It's all over the joint. What upsets me about that is, number one, it's disrespecting the designer. And number two, that ruins it for people like me that follow the rules and love a designer's items for themselves or gifts to their family or maybe a giveaway down the road or whatever. But I would never violate and sell items made from any pattern that I see. And I do specifically look when I'm ordering a pattern, especially if it's something I want to make to sell. Can I sell it? Is there a problem? And then if there is, if I want it for myself, I'll still buy it. If I do not, and I am specifically looking for a pattern for something I want to sell or something someone ordered, as in Dina and her boxer, then I move on until I find a pattern I like and am allowed to sell finished item. But I would hate for a favorite designer of mine to no longer offer their patterns because people violate the rules. So what is the proper protocol when you find something like that? Do you say something? Do you keep your mouth shut? What do you do? Because, it's eating at me. Not that I want to cause anybody any trouble, but if you think about it, I wouldn't be causing anybody trouble. They cause themselves trouble by violating the rules as they stand. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? I used to belong to the Sewing Mamas sewing group. And that was constantly the big thing. Like, they would buy licensed fabrics from characters like Disney or Pixar, whatever's coming off the top of my head here. Disney was a big one. And they'd want to sell items they sewed from these licensed fabrics. Well, you can't. You cannot. It's copyright infringement. And there were several girls that got into trouble because they were found out and they got shut down. And it's like, a designer puts something specific on a pattern. Like some of my patterns, which I'm going to change them all eventually, but whenever I sell them, I do say, ignore my saying you can't make and sell. And only I said wholesale, because at the time I was selling strictly wholesale. That's all my sewing patterns say is, please do not sell wholesale as we do that, and do not allow wholesale selling of our items. However, you may make and sell at craft shows, retail, etc., just not wholesale to retail shops. That was my stipulation, because again, I sold wholesale, not retail, and I sold the shops around the country, primitive shops, and I ran a wholesale group on Facebook where I personally brought in the crafters and the buyers. Very well-run professional group where that's what it was. Buying, selling, ordering. If somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do, I was actually in the middle of it. To an extent. There was only so much I could do. Like go to the person and say, look, you're violating my terms to come into my group. I made them sign things before they came in and show me tax IDs and all kinds of stuff. It was legitimately run. But that was the only reason I had a stipulation on my sewing patterns. Now I don't care. If you buy my patterns and want to sell wholesale, have at it. I no longer and will never again sell wholesale. Ever. Never. So, have at it. But I did that at that time, but I would never do it again. Why release a pattern if I'm not going to allow someone to benefit from it? Not everybody wants to just do personal items, and when you make something and it's so nice, I'll give you a good example. That sheepy I made, everybody went crazy over. Well, that's an Edwards menagerie, Carrie Lord, and her stipulation is absolutely no selling of her patterns. So I said right on my video when I showed that sheep, please don't even ask. I will not. There's no way I would even venture there. So, you just got to respect the designer's wishes. And like I'm just looking on this one. I didn't even look at this one. Normally I do that. That's the first thing I do. But I only wanted this to try it anyway. It wasn't... Okay, here you go. Example. Have fun crocheting. Note, this pattern is designed and written by me and may not be copied or used for commercial purposes. That's standard. You don't buy a pattern, especially a PDF, and resell it. That's bad business. Next part of the sentence. As well as the final products made with this pattern. So what she's saying is, do not sell any item made from my pattern. So this makes this null and void right there. So there you have it. I'm probably going to rip this apart then, because why waste the yarn? And there you go. That's one time I didn't look, and normally I do. And I did buy that pattern. I will link it, but it's a cute pattern. It's all right. Let me see. Who's the designer here? Natasha Cornelius. lifenunayek.etsy.com. Like I said, I'll link it in the description bar. Yeah. My aunt and uncle have a boxer, so maybe if I finish it, they'll get it. Or maybe I'll keep it, because I love dogs. Boxer wouldn't be my choice, but they're nice dogs. Anyway, that would never be something I sell. So this little boxer I've been working on ain't leaving my house. Maybe I'll do it for a giveaway. It's cute. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll finish it, like I said. But I did just order a boatload of honey yarn, so I could make 100 boxers from a pattern that allows. Chucky.
What?
I'm recording. You just walked right by the camera. I saw you.
What? That no good.
I know. You know that keychain thing I just got?
DJ.
The boxer pattern I'm making.
Yeah.
She says right on it, designed and written by me and may not be copied or used for commercial purposes, as well as the final products made with this pattern. Can't sell it. Can't sell anything made by it.
Huh.
Yeah. I was just talking about it on my video, and I said, you know, normally that's something I look for, especially if it's something I want to resell and I have an order for, which this was, and that was one time I didn't look and it burnt me. But that's okay. It is what it is. So yeah, you want to say Merry Christmas to everybody when?
Merry Christmas. How long have you done?
Like 2 minutes. I was just going to say goodbye. Him and the kids want to come out, so I'm going to cut this video off. I'll be back tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 25 and an official Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to put this video out. So yeah, let me just say that I hope that my fellow artisans, in any pattern they buy, whether it be sewing or crochet or knit or cross stitch or anything like that, always be mindful and respectful of the designer's wishes, and always make sure you check before you do something, because as the IRS says, ignorance is no excuse. So just be ethical, you know, and an accident's an accident. Things happen. Look at that. Had I not looked, I would have never even, but I would look. I would have looked before I ever sold it, because that's something I am aware of, and I would never overlook something like that. But you know, if you're aware of it, you know, it's just like if you get the wrong change. Just say a store gives you too much change. If you're aware of it and you don't go back with that change, that to me is theft. You know it. I could tell you a story. About 4 years ago, I used to buy bolts of muslin at Joann's, and I'd use the 50% off coupons because I made dolls out the gazoopy. Again, I was wholesale. And on the way home, I kept thinking, why was my bill so cheap? That muslin alone should have been like, I don't know, I think it should have been like 30 or 40 bucks. I looked at the bill and I'm looking and looking and I went, uh-oh. And I realized that they only charged me for 1 yard of that muslin. So they like sold me, I think the bolt was like, I don't know, 30, 40 yards. Maybe, I don't remember the numbers, just excuse all that. It's been a long time since I bought a bolt of muslin. I can't even remember how many yards. And I said to my husband, it was starting to get icy or foggy or something. I do know that I wasn't about to turn around because of weather conditions. So I called the minute I got home and I said my name and I gave them my receipt number and I said, I don't want anyone fired. I said, and this was clearly an oversight. She didn't hit the right quantity when she rang this. I said, so please don't yell at her because I'm going to make this right. And I asked them what to do and they said I could send a check. So we did that. And you know, it's funny. We figured out the difference with the manager on the phone and we sent the money to cover the difference so that the store wouldn't be short that inventory and the cashier wouldn't lose her job or get reprimanded. They said, the manager said thank you on the phone, and that was as far as that went. Now look, I didn't want praise and bowed down to for doing the right thing. You should do the right thing without any reward expected. But I just felt a little weird that, you know, she said, well, thank you, you know, just send it there and we'll let you know when we get it. And they did. When they got it, they called me and said, hey, we want to let you know we got your check. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye. That was the end of that. How many people do you think would have done what we did? There was no way I would have laid my head on my pillow knowing we had X amount of bolts or yards of fabric for nothing off a bolt. That is, I could never have lived with that, neither could a Chucky. So all I'm saying is, if you know something and you don't make it right, to me that's theft. Theft of copyright, theft of monies, theft of merchandise, whatever way you want to spin that yarn, it's theft. It's unprofessional and it's unethical. So always remember to do the right thing, whether it be in business, in life, or whatever. And if you don't know, you don't know. An accident's an accident. So you don't need to worry if one day you hear this and you go, oh my Lord, that time way back when, and I didn't realize, and something might dawn on you. That doesn't make you a bad person. You didn't know. It was an accident. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to say. And I'm not Mother Goose teaching right from wrong here. I just wanted to say that because I saw this and it is bothering me what I saw. Again, I won't mention who, what, or where. I won't even tell you what patterns or anything like that. Just know that you need to make sure you're not going against a designer or copyright infringements. Alright guys, I'm going to close this one for tonight. And I want to again wish you all a Merry Christmas. And please be safe when you're out there and about, traveling to and fro, family, friends, parties, etc. Please be safe, be careful, and have a very, very Merry Christmas. Until tomorrow when we are back on with Vlogmas Day 25. If you don't already, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be notified each and every time we upload. Also, please take a moment and hit that like button if you like my content, and please leave a comment so I too can get to know you, and do, if you will, please share on your social media with family and friends. Thanks so much, everybody. I will see you tomorrow sometime. Merry Christmas. Good night.